let's make lemonade. Okay. Let's go to work.
That's the signal. Go. Drop 6. It's beautiful. Mother Nature just pissed her pants, dude!
Start your day with a jolt of energy and no-holds-barred opinions. This is The Rush, where Travis Justice and Ross Peterson bring you bold, unfiltered, and uncensored takes on sports, life, and everything in between. Buckle up and let's go.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. It is the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. Good to have you along on a Tuesday. It's the 15th of April. Yes, April. If you're listening on the audio stream at therushradio.com or on the Android Rush Radio app, thank you so much. If you're looking for that app, if you have an Android phone, just search The Rush with Travis and Ross in the Play Store. If you are watching on YouTube, go ahead and give us a subscription. Just hit that subscription button and then like this video and leave a comment. You can also follow us on X, Facebook, and Instagram. Hello there, Ross Peterson. How you doing there, buddy?
I'm good, buddy. I'm good. Yeah, off and running. Love the start of the show. It always gets me in a good mood when I see Robert Downey Jr. go, let's make lemonade.
You know, the part that, and I'm not a big fan of his part in the movie, but I laugh now every time because it's when Jack Black is hanging from the helicopter. He's like, and
so
that just kind of makes
that
me
role. That role makes a lot more sense to me now because it was supposed to be Nick Swardson.
Really?
Yeah.
What happened?
They wrote Nick at the same time. Ben Stiller called him and said, "I've written this part for you in this movie." And he said, "Yep, I'm in." And I don't remember where they were shooting it in Hawaii. Adam Sandler called him like the next day and said, "Hey, I'm shooting a movie." And it was one of, Zoltan or whatever, one of the bad Adam Sandler movies. But Nick Swardson is Adam Sandler's buddy. They do a lot of stuff together. So he called Ben Stiller back and said, "Hey man, I hate to do this, but I can't do it." He said, "No worries, I'll get somebody else." But I heard that, and I kind of ran that roll through my head again, and I'm like, that makes a lot more sense. So anyway, yeah, there's your Tropic Thunder behind the scenes update.
We should host we talked about this before, but we almost need to do a private showing of Tropic Thunder with just listeners, and we remember that what was that show on Comedy Central, or was it Mystery Science Theater?
Science Theater 3000.
Yes. And we sit in the front row and we just make comments about the movie. We pause, we get up and do our little, monologue about a scene.
Some movies I think are actually better with, like Mystery Science Theater 3000 was such a fun show because you didn't know the movies. They were just stupid movies that you never would have watched. And so then it was just, for people that don't know what it was, it was shot as though you were sitting in a movie theater and there were two friends in front of you and you could overhear their conversation. And they would constantly, but it wasn't actually two people. It was like a robot and a bear or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a fun show. I liked Mystery Science Theater 3000. It was fun.
I think I appreciate it more now that I'm older and I'm like, oh, I get it. When you first saw it, you're like, what is this? Now I look back and go, oh, I wish I would have appreciated that lot more than what I did.
I remember my buddies and I loving that. I remember that being like a crying, laughing. What a stupid show, but a fun time of my life, man.
Hey, I need to thank you. You were a rock for me yesterday. So some people may be surprised that I'm here this morning. If you didn't hear, I'm going to let you know the news because we have 2 hours and, well, it's our show. We can do that. But my mom passed away yesterday. And I would say it was kind of a shock. I got a call about 10:30 in the morning saying that my mom had passed away. And you think you're prepared for it because she was 82. She wasn't sick, should we say, but she was diagnosed. You really can't diagnose it, but she had what the doctors believe is Lewy body dementia. And so this is what they look back now, Ross, and they think Robin Williams had. And because it has, instead of, when you hear the word dementia, you think memory loss and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But
Yeah.
Lewy body does a lot of things to the body, right? So you hallucinate, you get you get the spins a lot, you get dizzy. Also, it does wreaks havoc on your body from the fact that it makes walking hard and stuff like that. So some of those symptoms were really starting to be prevalent. She'd been hallucinating for a couple of years now. On April 1st, she had a heart cath because they thought they wanted to look at her heart, and her heart, it was clean. It was clean. She was very excited. But I talked to her over the weekend. She goes, "Man, I'm having a hard time walking." And I said, "Hey, you're getting a little bit older. This is some of the effects." I was prepared maybe in the next year or two that this was going to happen. I wasn't quite prepared for it to be yesterday. And I know you've been through it. And a lot of people have been through it. I mean, losing a parent is never easy by any means. But it's kind of a surreal moment. And I think I told you yesterday, I said, "Hey, I don't know if I'm going to do the show." And then we got home last night. I was out at the house all day. And I go, "You know what? This show is my therapy." And you've known that. This thing has always been my therapy. And I'm like, I think I'm going to do the show. I got to go to Manning, Iowa today. So we're going to go up and do some things at the funeral home and stuff. But it's just, I know you've been through it. You have great empathy when it comes to that. I don't know. It's just it's weird. I just felt I got up this morning. I'm like, I'm going to do the show. It's just it's something that I need to do. Be here with you. Be here with people who like the show, who support us, and it's an ego trip too. But I mean,
I love how honest and open you are. I don't think this is ego, Travis. I really don't. I think that this is that thing that, man, Abigail was so smart to call this our coffee club.
It's so true.
That you and I are so lucky to have this group of people that every morning we get to talk to. And we get to come on here and we get to share this stuff and talk about our lives and our kids and our families and what's happening with our day. And it becomes therapy. Dude, it got the 2 months without doing this were like 2 months in the wilderness. I didn't have my people here. I didn't have my connection. And I can't tell you, man, my empathy obviously is very strong for you. You know that. Brings back a lot of memories, makes me think about a lot of people and folks that have lost close people. But you told me yesterday, you're like, "Hey, I'm going to do the show," and I had Justin lined up. Justin was right away like, "Yeah, happy to do it." But I'm driving home yesterday, and I had the kids in the car, and I told them, "Hey guys, I want to let you know, Travis's mom passed away today." And Audrey's like, "No." So yeah, Audrey, it's okay. And Eli says he's going to take a couple days off the show, and I said, "No, he's actually going to do the show tomorrow." And Audrey said, "Travis is the GOAT." And Eli, without missing a beat, said, "He really is. He really is, Audrey."
The hard part, thank God for neighbors. And this is what I like about a small town. And it happens in neighborhoods too. But I thank God for neighbors, because what had happened, I'm just going to tell everybody what happened. It was, she was actually going to do her taxes yesterday. So she needed to get her taxes done. And the neighbor lady, Carla, noticed her blinds weren't open. So my mom would open her blinds every day. People are creatures of habit. You get up, you open the blinds, you let the sun in. And Carla had noticed that the blinds were still closed. So she made a phone call, and we listened to the phone calls last night. And so she wasn't answering. Called again, wasn't answering. Called my sister-in-law, and it still wasn't answering. So they went over and they opened the garage door, and they found my mom in the garage, which was, so we think she was leaving to drive to Harlan, Iowa, and just maybe had a dizzy spell or something, but she was in the garage. But I'm so happy that they found her, and they were smart enough to, not say smart enough, but kind enough to kind of reach out every single day to make sure everything was okay. Because I I live in Omaha. I got a brother in Portugal. I got other brothers. It's not like we're there all the time. So I'm glad they found her when they did. So I think she'd passed away for maybe about 3 hours before they found her.
Okay.
But you know, and I got to deal with the Potawatomi County Sheriff's Department. The medical examiner was out there. The cops were there. They were really, really, really good. It's just kind of a surreal moment. You know, you're just sitting there going, you're sitting in this house you grew up, and I don't go back to my house very much, but I was lucky enough. You know, I spent a good amount of time with Mom towards the end of March. I called her this weekend, so I'm glad I didn't get like that final talk with her. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
You know, so it was now. Here's where I wish things were a little bit different. And when your mom passed away, things moved fairly rapidly, right? I mean, you had the funeral like 3 or 4 days later, right?
Yeah.
See, Mom's funeral is not going to be for at least 2 or 3 weeks because my brother has to fly in from Portugal, and just trying to arrange that. And I'm being very, and I totally get it, because I'd be the same way. He called me yesterday. He goes, "Hey, can we wait till the 29th?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, you know, the plane ticket is 3 times as much money if I fly back." And I don't blame him. I mean, that is a consideration, right?
Absolutely.
I'm like,
I love your attitude. What's the hurry?
Yeah, well, I mean, what's the hurry? I mean, she's going to be cremated. We're going to take care of that beforehand. We'll have.
And by the way, God bless procrastination and delaying your taxes. If everybody should wait till the last possible minute to file their taxes as well.
Mine aren't filed yet either, so that I got to file mine. But yeah, so so if I'm in or out of it the next couple of days, I hope
everybody will understand. And if you are, days off are acceptable. Also, you know that I took a month off. We did home hospice with my mom.
Yeah.
And so I took a month off, and we did, and we sat there and did that. So that's the other thing, Travis. I think we were able to kind of put our ducks in a row, and it was during COVID. There was a lot of other things that allowed us to do that kind of faster thing. I don't think anybody, turns a nose up at this. They understand. Brother coming from Portugal. I mean, what are you going to say to your brother?
Yeah,
looks like you're missing Mom's funeral.
Because I would be the same way. I'm like, I don't want to spend $4,000 on a ticket when I can spend $800.
Yeah, it's already going to cost me a lot of money to come out. And I know money is not the number one issue, but again, what's the rush?
What's the rush?
I love you. That's the right attitude.
Yeah, and you probably have to do it. You'll have to do it with your dad someday. But I think the realization yesterday, because we had to wait for the examiner to get done with everything. So, I got there and they wouldn't let us go in the garage, and that's fine. So, it took another maybe 3 hours before the funeral home arrived and stuff. And we're just kind of sitting there, and then we start going through the house, and the realization hit me like, oh, we got to clean this stuff up. I mean, there's so much, and it's crap, right? It's like, who wants any of this stuff? And we started finding, newspaper clippings that nobody cares about. And you're like, oh man, we're gonna have to clean the house.
The stuff that accumulates from a life, man.
Oh, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
It is. And it's not, sad's the wrong word to say nobody wants it. I mean, I do this quite a bit, Trav. I've got one that I just sold up in Ogden. That was this way, where the owner had passed away. It was her son that had reached out to me and said, "Hey, need to sell Mom's house." It's a very similar situation to yours. Brothers had kind of run out of time and energy and effort. They're like, we just want the place. We just want to sell the place. Be done. And you go through it, and it's like, well, there's a lot of stuff in here. The stuff. It's just life stuff. The brothers say, we've gone through it. The grandkids have gone through it. Nobody wants it.
Yeah.
Nobody wants it. It's just stuff.
The interesting part in my family dynamic, I actually saw a brother yesterday that I hadn't talked to in 26 years. So that was kind of different. We had to go to the bank real quick. I said, you want to ride with me? And so It's not. It's
Did he
not like
ride with you?
he did, because I'm like, well, why are we going to take 2 cars for 4 miles? So I said, just hop in. So this will be the interesting dynamic, because it's not like we're a tight knit group. You got 4 boys. I always said this, and I told Mom this. I go, too bad you never had a girl, because girls keep things together. I really do believe that. Women keep things together, and because guys are just like, all right. And Ross knows me well enough that when I write people off, I write them off very quickly. And it's just like, need a buyer. Dead. Just dead to me.
Man, you're right about the girls thing. You're right about the girls thing.
Yes.
Brad and I love my brother. I think I love my brother to death. He's the greatest brother in the world. But he and I, our conversations are about 9 seconds long. You know what I mean? What are you doing? Nothing. Plowing snow. All right, I'll let you go. All right, talk to you later. and then a month later, we have the same conversation. See the Hawks? Yeah. All right, you headed to Dad's? Be there at 6. All right, see ya. But my sister is the one sending the group text on Sunday night saying, hey, next Sunday for Easter, who's bringing this? Ross, you're on ham. Da-da-da. You know what I mean? It's the organizer, Yeah.
Yeah, the nice thing was Owen and Lizzie came out with me yesterday. So they met me out there. So it was nice because Anjanette was working and she's like, you want me to leave work? I said, just come out after work. I don't know what we're all going to do, but just sit there and look at each other, to people we haven't talked to in 26 years. So it's like, it's like, I go, but then Owen and Lizzie showed up, which was nice because
this is one of those things of how different you and I are. Because I'd be like, yeah, I'd like to have you there with me, please. But Owen and Lizzie showed up. So, but and this is what I've been trying to do. And now the girls aren't here. Obviously, Mary's in New Orleans and Abigail's in Mississippi. But I've been trying to say, hey, I want Owen and Lizzie to come over every Sunday for dinner. I want to have a family dinner every single night or every single Sunday. And they haven't been doing it, but they came over this last Sunday, which was really nice. We were able to grill steaks, and then Owen and Lizzie came out yesterday and spent the day with me. So that was nice just to have them there. And I think once they got there, I was I'm glad they were there. But I was kind of regretting, like, maybe I should have had Anjanette come out. It was like, maybe I should have had my wife come out, just in case things go south. Maybe having another backup driver here, getaway driver, would have been nice.
The weird part was telling the kids, because, and I didn't know the right way to tell the kids. We could have done a group call. I just called them each individually.
Yeah.
And I pulled Greta out of class and told her over the phone. And I didn't know if that was the right way to do it, but I didn't want, once word starts spreading, it starts spreading, right?
Right. So I think you did the right thing there. I think you did the right thing. Do I remember kids in school, like, I remember hearing stories of, like, a parent would call the school and say, hey, a grandma passed away. And it was like a teacher or a principal that would deliver the news.
Yeah, I don't think that's the right thing to do.
Yeah, that was always weird to me. Like, no, I think, if you can't, you did the right thing. Driving making the call and saying, hey, and I think you did the right thing, by the way, by doing an individual.
Yeah. Calls. And this is me, my anal retentive self. I started with the oldest, and I
would have done the same. I think that's fair. Yeah.
And I waited till I got a hold of Owen, then I waited till I got a hold of Mary, then Greta.
Whenever bad news happens, my dad does the exact same thing, and then he's always careful to tell me, because I'm the youngest. So he's always like, now, just so you know, I already called Marcy and Brad. Like, I wanted to be the first to know.
Though Greta had a great story. She was bawling, so I told her, and I could tell she was crying right away.
Yeah.
So she went back to class, and she was crying, and the teacher was, oh my God, takes her aside, and says, come with me. And she's like, is it a class? Are you stressed? Because it's finals time. It's her senior. She goes, no, my grandma just passed away. She's like, oh, okay. Do you want to go to the counselor? No, she goes, I'm fine. I just, she's crying.
Yeah.
And she'd taken her in a closet, it was like the ceramics glazing closet.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay. And she goes, "You need some time." And she just like left her in the closet. She goes, and Greta goes, "She just left me in the closet." She goes, "She shut the door, and I'm just sitting in this closet going, okay."
Do I just cry in here for a while?
Yeah, what do I do in the closet? Got anything for me to glaze? I don't know. But it kind of shows you kind of how out of it. I didn't get home till about 8:30 last night. I'm like, oh, I gotta set up the show for tomorrow because you got to do a little thumbnail for YouTube. And I knew I was out of it when the thumbnail is like WNBA draft. I cashed it in. I'm like, that's all I got. That's all I got.
That's funny.
The show is WNBA draft.
I woke up, I saw that. One of the first things I see now is the YouTube thumbnail. I saw that and I was like, okay, I guess I better brush up on WNBA draft if that's what we're doing today.
I was like, oh yeah, I'm just sitting there going, I'm just kind of going through it because I'm like, oh, WNBA draft, and then I think I woke up about 2 a.m. going, did I really do a thumbnail for the WNBA draft? And I did, and I'm like, boy, nothing's going to want people to listen to this show more than going through the WNBA draft. And then Ross gets on this morning. He's like, "Hey man, I was going through this draft." I'm like, "What?
I was brushing up. I knew that." Had to be. Actually, I need to tell you this. I'll be again. I'm fully transparent about this stuff. I didn't even know the WNBA draft was happening, but my buddy Ed has become like my WNBA conduit. So he keeps our entire group text up to speed. You know what I mean? Like he's constantly firing off stuff about the WNBA. It kind of felt like a bit at first, but now it's definitely not a bit. He really is into it. And he wrote the one thing that he took away was Haley Van Lith going back to Chicago. I shouldn't say back to Chicago. Drafted by Chicago will now play back with Angel Reese.
Yes.
A lot of people seem to be reading into some body language from Haley Van Lith from last night saying that she obviously doesn't want to play with Angel Reese, but a lot of people that were inside of that locker room and know about that relationship basically saying they have a great relationship. It was Kim Mulkey that kind of soured things with Haley Van Lith. So we'll see. We'll see how that works out. I can't imagine the Chicago Fire would have drafted her without consulting with Angel Reese and saying, hey, if we bring this in, is this going to be a big problem? Right?
I would think, because I mean, Angel's the face of the Chicago Sky.
Right.
There's no doubt about it.
Yep.
And that's why Caitlin Clark can deny all she wants about, the coaching moves, the GM moves, all that stuff at Indiana. To tell me you didn't tell Caitlin Clark what was going to happen, or at least seek approval, just to make sure you're on board. I'll call BS on that.
And again, complete transparency. This is how much I know about the WNBA. I just called them the Chicago Fire. It's the Chicago Sky. This
is what made me laugh with Ross this morning, because he was all confused because ESPN.com presumably assumes that everybody knows what every WNBA team is, and it's not true. And this is validation right here.
They don't say the team names. They just have the team's logo by who drafted them. So like it says Paige Beckers, right? And there's a logo next to Paige Beckers. I don't know the teams.
Paige Beckers would have gone to the Dallas Wings.
Okay, I can see that looks like a bird.
Yeah.
I'll believe you.
Okay.
The second pick was Dominique Malonga. She's from France. A green team took her.
A green team.
Kind of looks like a shield. Kind of looks like a bat. Kind of looks like a patch that a cop would wear on his sleeve.
Did she go to the Valkyries?
I don't know.
Well, I'm going to tell you how stupid I am.
Okay. All right.
It is that I went through all 3 rounds of the WNBA draft this morning.
There's 3?
There's 3 rounds. I only knew 3 players in the total draft.
Well, I could go through the NBA draft and do about that well, dude.
That's fair.
Well, at least you know some of the teams. DC had the 3rd and 4th pick. I'm assuming that's Washington, DC.
The Washington Mystics.
They had the 3rd and 4th pick.
And by the way, Lucy Olson, the Iowa guard, went to the Washington Mystics in the 2nd round.
Oh, really? Well,
Yeah.
DC had the 3rd, 4th, and
Glad you're
6th.
so interested about it. Oh, really? One of the comments earlier, how about Lucy Olson getting picked? Well, she went in the 2nd round to a team that had 3 first-round picks?
And I didn't realize they had 3 rounds, because the other thing that I took away from this was that most of these ladies are going to have to fight for a roster spot.
That's, you look at Indiana, right? Indiana totally rebuilt its roster and is kind of built now to at least compete for a championship this year. You'll have first-round picks that don't make a team. You'll have a lot of second-round picks that don't make a team. When Kate Martin made a team last year for San Antonio, that was actually a surprise. Usually, if you're drafted in the 2nd round, you're like, your chances of playing aren't that good. I mean, Megan Gustafson, who was the National Player of the Year, Ross, former Iowa Hawkeye, she comes off the bench for San Antonio. She has to supplement her income a lot in Europe. She plays really well in Europe, but I think every single year is tough. Ashley Jones is a good example. I mean, look how good she was at Iowa State. She started on a team last year, but then was cut. I mean, there's only I heard Caitlin Clark talk about this on the Letterman interview. There's only 144 roster spots. It's not like there's a ton of roster spots out there, and you've got a good number of players coming out every year. There's just no room whatsoever.
I'm learning a lot, I guess.
You're becoming educated.
Well, no, learning about the teams, learning what cities the WNBA.
Give me a team. I'll see if I can give you the nickname. Give me a team. See if I can give you the nickname.
Connecticut.
Sun.
Look at you. I'll believe that. I'm looking at the logo and I believe it. L.A.
Sparks.
That looks like a palm tree more than a spark. Las Vegas is the Aces.
Yes.
Minnesota is the
Lynx.
Okay. By the way, none of these logos give it away. New York is the Liberty. Look at me. I'm on a roll.
Look at you.
Phoenix.
The Mercury, yep.
Seattle.
Oh, that's the new team. They're not the Valkyries, are they?
I don't know. Sure.
That's the new team.
DC.
No, Golden State, I think, is the San Francisco team is the Valkyries.
There's a San Francisco's team?
I thought
you know what? GSV would probably be Golden State Valkyries.
Yes.
Yeah, look at us learning.
Learning on the fly here on the Rush Radio Show at 515-517-2303. Good to have you along on a Tuesday. It is the Rush Radio Show, powered by our good friends at Willis Automotive.
You got me falling hard, sweet baby, you got me falling hard for you. And still, I felt this way before, you know it's true. And still, you got me more and more. Oh, you got me falling hard.
You've dreamed about an absolutely organized garage or closet? See it for yourself at Absolute Garage & Closet's beautiful showroom in Urbandale. See the latest in garage storage, custom closet systems, and epoxy flooring applications up close, and imagine how good it will feel to have your garage, closets, or other spaces absolutely organized. Free consultations, friendly service, and quick project turnarounds, Absolute Garage & Closets is ready to bring peace of mind into your home. Visit Absolute Garage & Closets at 3169 99th Street in Urbandale or at absolutegarage.net.
Spring is here, and so are spring pests. Whether it's birds in your dryer vent, raccoons in your chimney, squirrels in your soffit, ants in your kitchen, or bats in your attic, with over 20 years of experience, Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions can help. Call us today at 515-218-3400 to schedule your inspection and see how Bats and Bugs can help prevent your home from becoming their home.
There's a new spin on casual dining near Drake University. Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers. Craveable faves, flatbreads, delicious burgers, frozen cocktails, and a crazy cool vibe. Get to Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers today.
We here at Willis Automotive pride ourselves on providing the utmost in hospitality, treating everyone who walks through our doors like a guest in our home. And during our Friends and Family Sales event, we extend that philosophy to our prices. From our Willis Automotive campus in Clive to each location across the metro, we have over 575 pre-owned vehicles for sale at our special pricing, including 55 vehicles priced less than $18,000. Visit our website at willisauto.com or stop into our many locations across the metro and experience the Willis difference today.
With over 260 beers on tap, El Bait Shop isn't just another craft beer bar. It's the best. Beer lovers know El Bait Shop, 200 Southwest 2nd, Des Moines.
Missing a quality home-cooked meal? You know, the kind Mom used to make? Lucky for you, we found her recipe book. Welcome to the High Life. Welcome to the Champagne of Bars.
You know, Brian, at Central City, we really do have the best selection around.
I know. High quality stuff you can't find anywhere else.
Whistle Pig Plantation Rum.
Yeah, and over 150 of the best scotches on earth.
And a ton of bitters, mixers, and more.
You know what we are? High class.
Definitely high class, yeah.
Make way for the natty.
Okay, maybe medium class.
Central City Liquor is home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the Wooden Nickel program.
We've returned and we brought snacks, sarcasm, and absolutely no sense of shame. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Welcome to the Rush Radio Show, and you can listen all day long at therushradio.com. Just click that listen live link. You can also find the podcast version of the show at therushradio.com or wherever you listen to your podcast. I'm Travis Justice. He's Ross Peterson. Did you like that little show read?
That's kind of interesting. I hadn't heard that or seen that yet. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Nick sent those to me yesterday. Nick sent
like
those
it.
to me.
Like it.
Yeah.
Love
yeah.
our Choice Creative team, man. They are fantastic and fun.
Quick reminder that we want you to ride the Bacon Boat. That's right. The Blue Ribbon Bacon Festival is coming up, and it's the 17th annual Blue Ribbon Bacon Festival on Saturday, May 3rd. Are you jazzed for this, Ross?
Dude, May 3rd is going to be a busy day. Busy day. UFC is that day. Graduate. We've talked about it already. You got a wedding that day. Yeah, going to be busy. But dude, Bacon Fest is such a fun. You can pop in, you can spend, you know what I mean? You can in and out, go do your other stuff and come back. It's such a fun day of, it's one of those events, Travis, where it's like the cool people in Des Moines. You know what I mean? You walk around, you're like, yeah, I'm in the space. I'm at the right spot here.
And the cool thing is people dress up for it. This year, it's the Bacon Boat, so think yacht rock. You can kind of go with that 70s sailing type theme. And, of course, one lucky person is going to win a 7-day Caribbean cruise for 2 with airfare and $500 cash, courtesy of our friends at Community Choice Credit Union. You can have live bands, contest, sizzling prizes. Tickets start just at $29. Get yours today at BlueRibbonBaconFestival.com. That's BlueRibbonBaconFestival.com.
Yeah, if I feel like that's one of those deals. If you go to a Bacon Fest, you want to go back every year, and if you've never been to a Bacon Fest, you don't understand what you're missing out on.
It's a unique.
It is. It's an experience.
Yes,
it's something that you will remember. You'll buy the T-shirt.
I remember the first Bacon Fest I ever went to. I think it was Bacon Mania. It was at the Iowa Event Center. It's the first time I ever met Brooks Reynolds, and I was like, oh. But 17 years this thing's been going, and just absolutely amazing. So we'll be talking about the Blue Ribbon Bacon Festival all month long, and of course Brooks will be joining us sometime.
Of course he will,
to get his his yacht. And can you see him in like a captain's hat? Oh, I can.
Oh yeah, yes. I mean, dude, have you seen the promotional video they've got where they've got Bruno dressed up like the skipper? See, they do it with a Love Boat theme, but then it's got a little bit of a Gilligan's Island kick to it too.
Marianne or Ginger, which one?
Okay, you're gonna have to help me out here. One of them was the Hollywood movie star, and one of them was like the country girl next door.
So Marianne was the country girl next door.
Then
Ginger was the hot redhead.
Yeah, I was Marianne. I was the girl next door. Three's Company, I always liked the brunette.
Yeah, I could.
You know
see
what
that.
I mean? It was Janet and Chrissy.
Yeah,
I always liked Janet.
Betty or Wilma.
Saved by the Bell. I was a Lisa Turtle guy.
I was a Jesse Spano guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, because you saw Showgirls.
I saw Showgirls, but
and
this
you
was
were like,
before Showgirls. Now, Tiffany Amber Thiessen she's like an
she
Instagram
was the
star.
Barbie doll. She was the Barbie doll. She was the ginger of the group. You know what I mean? Jessie, I don't know. She was intimidating to me.
Yeah,
maybe it was the height. Maybe it was the speed addiction. I don't know. I don't know.
Speed addiction. You're going back into episode.
But at least I was always a Lisa Turtle guy. And then the fact that she would even give Screech the time of day, maybe that's what it was. That I was like, oh, there's my chance. If she's willing to talk to Screech, she's going to go to a dance with Screech. She'd go to a dance with me, maybe.
Okay, let's go to facts of life. Joe or Blair?
Okay, you're going to have to help me out again there. One of them was like the tomboy.
That was Joe. That
girl.
was Nancy McKean.
I liked Joe. Blair was the one that had the real curly hair, and she was real kind of preppy and
she was the Barbie
proper. Yeah, I didn't like her.
Yeah, didn't like her.
And again, what was wrong with Trudy? Maybe I'm picking up on a theme here, but Trudy was always kind of my favorite one there.
A little theme, maybe. There's a little theme developing here. Just the college football wars are getting very, very interesting. Of course, college football is this mega behemoth business, $1 billion business, and ESPN and Fox are going rope-a-dope, right? And we've commented over the last several years how Fox Big Noon Kickoff and the pregame show has really made some tremendous strides and put together good quality content. And they do a great job. I think Urban Meyer on that show is amazing. There was a lull, I do believe, with ESPN College Game Day until Pat McAfee got involved with the show.
Agreed.
I get that some people hate Pat McAfee, and he's a polarizing guy. I happen to find him entertaining.
He was an injection of energy into that show. You can't deny that.
100%. Just because he took the rules and threw out the rule book, right? It's like, we're not going to, he's just going to be Pat McAfee. And again, you may not like him, but it's undeniable that there's a different energy with Pat McAfee on that show, which is, I think, injected a lot of rating success for them. Ross, it's come out that Fox made a big push for Reese Davis. Now, Reese Davis has turned them down, signed a new 7-year deal with ESPN worth what is being reported as tens of millions of dollars to stay on as the host of College Football Game Day on ESPN. But it shows you that Fox, tens of millions of dollars for a TV host shows you how much money is being made in college football, not just by the conferences, but by these networks. But all I could think is after he turned it down, what if you're Rob Stone at Fox? What are you feeling? Right? I mean, you've been the host, you've built a pretty good product, and all of a sudden you find out you were trying to replace me?
I didn't know who the guy was.
You didn't know who Rob Stone was?
No.
You'd probably know his face and his voice if you heard him.
Probably, but you could have told me that was the CEO of Fox. I wouldn't have known.
Hence why they went after Reese Davis.
Exactly right. Now, and you know, it's funny because Reese Davis to me is not the guy that makes that show. And Austin Wright said Reese might be the glue, but he's a non-entity. Give me Rob Stone every single time. My point let's just start it with Reese Davis. They offered Reese Davis that much money, and my first thought is, man, you don't need that. Because you had wasn't it Fowler before Reese Davis?
Fowler to me was always like,
right.
To me, he was a host that was a host, right?
Reese Davis to me, I don't mean to knock on him, and this is going to definitely sound like an insult, but he is kind of that pretty face type of thing. I know he's much more than that. I don't mean to, but for the commentary of this, my initial reaction to Reese Davis when that move happened, I thought, oh, they brought this guy in because he looks like Chris Fowler. They brought this guy in because he's a good-looking white dude with brown hair, and he can fill that role. He didn't seem any more talented to me than Chris Fowler was, and I think there are guys out there that could do that job. I mean, to me, and I don't just say this because we know the guy and our friends are really good friends with him. Chris Hassel's one of the most talented dudes out there. That would be something that I would tune in, probably because I know him. You know what I mean? But that's one of the few names that would actually make me, as a host, turn on a Saturday morning show. Reese Davis doesn't do it for me. Rob Stone had never done it for me. Pat McAfee did it. And there are moments when Kirk Herbstreit does it for me. There's times when Desmond Howard is fantastic. But the straw that has stirred the drink at ESPN has been Pat McAfee. And you can do that show if you've got those other pieces. You don't, like, Reese Davis is not the $10 million man in this scenario.
What I think Pat McAfee has done is actually help Herbstreit come out of his shell a little bit. Herbstreit's always been really good, but Herbstreit now is so established, and I think he's watched McAfee is not as guarded, maybe offers a much stronger opinions, and has this I don't care attitude. I'm just going to tell you what I think. And that people want realism. They want to see you and they want to go, oh, that's genuine. And I do think McAfee is genuine. I mean, you look at his early days of his show and what he's carried over. I mean, he's
always
consistent.
been this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he first splashed onto the scene 15 years ago, however long ago it was, 15, 20, it seems like. And even guys that played with him were like, oh, yeah, this dude's a character. Always has been.
Now, I will say this. When it comes to, I remember there was a time in my life when getting up and watching College Game Day was a big deal. I mean, you had to watch the 3 hours of College Game Day. I've kind of fallen out of that. And I don't know, maybe it's because it's content overload. You have so much content out there. You have Barstool doing a show. You have a lot of people. Hell, we could, the way we're set up now, you and I could be in Iowa City and do, the rush in front of the statue. Well, I don't know if they'd let us on the grounds, but we could find a tailgate and do our own show. Yeah. I memean, there's just so much content out there. And I think the Corso thing, this is unpopular in a lot of things. And I just, the Corso thing has run its course. And I just wish they would say, Lee, you've done a lot of good things.
Dude, the Corso thing, I don't even know what the right words are for that. It's beyond a tune-out factor. Like, I have to turn away. And I don't know. Everybody seems to be in unison on the Corso thing. It's time. It's been time for years. The Dick Clark references are palpable. So that's got to go. Maybe that's Travis. I have not watched College Game Day. I get the snippets of it. If the Hawks are kicking off at 11 and it's the game that it's that never happens. But if there's a game that I'm wanting to watch that's kicking off right after that, I'll catch the last few minutes of it. I'll usually on one of my feeds, one of those real heartfelt things that they do will show up there. Pat McAfee doing something funny. Shane Gillis calling Nick Saban Alabama Jones.
Which might be the highlight from College Game Day last year, right? I mean,
absolutely. Absolutely. And before that, it's Pat McAfee. So as much as I like Kirk Herbstreit, maybe it's even time for him to slide on and do something else. I don't know. I like him. I think that's a good role for him. I like Desmond Howard in that role. I don't watch it, and if you made me say why, it'd be Lee Corso. It's uncomfortable.
It's almost inhumane.
I mean, there's a lot of things to say about it. We remember Dick Clark, and for young people might not even know what that reference is. Dick Clark was a huge television star. He was like the Ryan Seacrest of his time. In fact, Ryan Seacrest took over his New Year's Eve thing, and they let him do the New Year's Eve broadcast. He'd had a stroke. He couldn't talk. He's slurring out of the side of his mouth like this, and they're rolling the dude out there because it's Dick Clark's New Year's Eve. And that's where we're at with Lee Corso. It's very similar of like, they continue to just roll the guy out there, and it's hard to watch. So I don't watch it. And like somebody just wrote in and said he's not even on every week. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know he wasn't on every week because I quit tuning it in.
Yeah, it's but I guess I was shocked at the tens of millions of dollars for Reese Davis. I'm like, God, and watch ESPN do like another round of firings, and you go,
yes.
But the difference is that show makes money, and if you're part of a show that makes money and there's a return on investment, you go, well, that's the return on investment.
People always bitch. They go, man, Stephen A. Smith makes so much money, and then ESPN goes and fires a bunch of people. How does Stephen A. Smith make so much money?
His show makes them so much money. That's the way it works.
Yep.
It's the way it works. Yesterday, we got a phone call about the Masters and wanted to know the TV ratings. And I said, I said, they weren't going to come around probably until late Monday, and that's what happened. The Masters, Ross, the most watched Masters in the last 7 years. So you have to go back to when Patrick Reed won in 2018. So,
wow, I would have thought 2019 when Tiger. Wow.
No, what happened that year? There was some weather and there were some rain delays.
Oh, that's right.
So that kind of messed it up. But this was the most watched Masters since 2018. It averaged 12.7 million viewers. It peaked at 19.5 million viewers. For Paramount streaming, it was the largest streaming for Paramount in a non-NFL game. So NFL, it's the NFL and everybody else.
You're right.
In the sports world, it's the NFL and everybody else. But this was a home run for the Masters. Also the most watched golf event, any tournament since 2018. So those are the numbers you're looking at. I mean, 12.5 million is a lot. Peaking at 19.7 is a lot. And you had the storylines. You had good weather. Everything started on time. You had Rory McIlroy, who, since Tiger's been essentially out of the game, has been maybe the face of golf for.
Been in there. There's been a rotating, a small group of rotating guys, but yeah.
Maybe the highest profile guy who never won the Masters. You throw in the Bryson DeChambeau pairing on Sunday, and you just had the makings of people going, you know what? I think I want to watch this.
And compelling TV from the opening tee.
Yes.
There was drama, and there was a back and forth, and there was constantly a storyline to be told, whether it was Bryson's going to shoot in front. Here comes Rory back. Now Rory's on a historic run. Now Justin Rose is playing really well. Now we're going to head to a play. Now Rory's collapsing. There was a fun, drama-filled day of sports, and that's why you get a number like that. And consistent. And Travis, when it starts off like that, again, that word-of-mouth thing starts to spread. Kerry Wood is striking out 20 Astros. You start to call your friends and say, are you guys watching this? The text threads start to fire up and go, damn. I remember there was one when Rory hit a ball. It was pretty early in the round. Rory had to get over a tree, and he clipped the tree. Do you remember this? It was the third or fourth hole. It was pretty early in the round, and he had to get over the top, and it clipped the top of the tree. Well, then it actually helped. The ball landed like 8 inches from the cup. I mean, it was incredible. Almost hit the pin. And that was another one of those hey, something special's happening here.
Dude from Iowa leaves on a comment, and this kind of shocks me. He goes, hey, it seems low. Here's the problem when it comes to TV ratings. you can't compare everything. You have to look at it in golf terms. You can't look at it in sports terms. Because we mentioned the National Football League. National Football League reigns supreme. College football is much bigger than that. When I just said it is the most watched golf event, not Masters, it's the most watched golf event since 2018. That should tell you that's not a low number.
That's the perspective, right?
And say as much as we want about golf, it's still, I shouldn't use this word, but I'm going to. It's still niche a little bit. I mean, it's not a sport that's going to bring everybody around the tube. You really got to want to watch some golf. At least that's the way would you say golf is a niche sport?
I think that's fair.
So
I could see people getting upset with that.
Would we call it a niche sport?
Golf fans will be like, it's not niche. I think it is, though.
To me, there's the non-niche sports are football,
basketball, baseball.
Yeah, I would even call hockey a niche sport.
I think okay. I won't argue with you.
No. I mean, what was your hesitation there? Just because
I'm not sure. I think it kind of is. I think if hockey's a niche sport, I think if golf's a niche sport, hockey is as well. And again, just semantics or whatever that word is. I don't know. I wouldn't die on this hill.
Austin says, "Can 17 million viewers be niche?"
No, you're right.
But it's also a one-off. I mean, the WNBA is still a niche sport.
Oh, definitely. That's definitely.
So when you look at the numbers that Caitlin Clark put up, and let's even look at the national championship numbers this year. They don't when they were comparing numbers, giving ratings, they took 2024 out of the equation because the numbers were so skewed because Caitlin Clark was in the national championship game. They had big numbers this year. I think the national championship game this year was right around 18 million. But it's taken them a long time to get there. Long time.
Yeah, I think that's a good number. And again, that relative to golf, that's a great number.
Yeah.
So cool. What does golf have to do to build on it? What's going to make you watch golf more?
I watched, even though I didn't like him when he was at his height, I had to watch Tiger. He was that polarizing figure, right? I didn't like him, and I don't know why. Maybe it was just because he had success, and you're like, oh, I want to hate this guy because, he's. Yeah, I remember when he turned pro.
I think that's what it was. I think the thing with Tiger was how he came in with confidence, and a lot of us were like, "No, man, you got to earn that. You don't just get to come in and say you're going to start winning championships." Well, he knew. And I think that was what took a lot of us a long time to be like, oh my God, this guy is legit. This guy's the real deal. He's really, really fun to watch and is going to change the game. I think initially when he showed up, we wanted, golf to be that stuffy sport with collared shirts and button down and
very proper.
Yeah. And here was this kid showing up, pumping his fist, and just took a while to accept it.
Now here comes this happens like once every year or every 2 years. Is NASCAR a niche sport or even a sport? Yes, it's niche.
Yeah, again.
We're going to break the way. And that's why when I started hesitating using the word, I guess what I look at is when you grow up, what are the main things on TV? Yes, I know NASCAR, but it's always baseball, basketball, football. That's what it is. That's what dominates. That's what dominates the ratings. So... yeah, but great numbers for the Masters, and it was a great tournament. It was a great finish, and that's why But we had that call yesterday asking about the ratings, and there you go. Large. A lot of people watched. Hey, don't forget, if you need to reorganize your closet, need to reorganize your garage, we have a place for you. We have a place for you. It's Absolute Garage and Closets. And if you have not experienced what Absolute Garage and Closets can offer you, you are missing out because, Ross, you sell real estate. I mean, what sells homes? Upgrades in the homes.
Oh, stuff like that. Like the stuff that you get at Absolute Garage and Closets is absolutely the stuff that helps sell a home. Usability of space, being able to maximize that little footprint that you have, and that's exactly what Absolute Garage and Closets is designed to do. Travis, the stuff that you see that they have inside of homes is beautiful, like breathtaking stuff inside of closets. And then we've talked a lot about that usability of space that you get from the different products they have for your garage. Now, and you can get they have cabinets. If you want to put cabinets in your garage, they're the place to go for that. But it's way more than that. So many things to help make your life easier. We talk a lot of times in real estate, because I'm a realtor, we talk about that resellability. But I think with Marty and his team over there, it's more about the usability of your space. You are going for not a lot of money. You're going to make your life a lot easier, whether that's just having the bikes up off the garage when they're not in use, or having one of those great big racks that motorizes back up to the ceiling in your garage. It looks like $1 million, and it's not expensive.
So reorganize your life with the Absolute Garage and Closets. Call them today and get your life organized. It is the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Spring is here, and so are spring pests. Whether it's birds in your dryer vent, raccoons in your chimney, squirrels in your soffit, ants in your kitchen, or bats in your attic, with over 20 years of experience, Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions can help. Call us today at 515-218-3400 to schedule your inspection and see how Bats and Bugs can help prevent your home from becoming their home.
You've dreamed about an absolutely organized garage or closet? See it for yourself at Absolute Garage and Closets' beautiful showroom in Urbandale. See the latest in garage storage, custom closet systems, and epoxy flooring applications up close, and imagine how good it will feel to have your garage, closets, or other spaces absolutely organized. Free consultations, friendly service, and quick project turnarounds, Absolute Garage and Closets is ready to bring peace of mind into your home. Visit Absolute Garage and Closets at 3169 99th Street in Urbandale or at absolutegarage.net.
Missing a quality home-cooked meal? You know, the kind Mom used to make? Lucky for you, we found her recipe book. Welcome to the High Life. Welcome to the Champagne of Bars.
With over 260 beers on tap, El Bait Shop isn't just another craft beer bar. It's the best. Beer lovers know. El Bait Shop, 200 Southwest 2nd, Des Moines.
Thinking about buying a home? Get pre-approved in 30 minutes with Gary Presnell at Northwest Bank in Des Moines. Gary offers first-time home buyers programs, VA, FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
You know, Brian, at Central City, we really do have the best selection around.
I know, high quality stuff you can't find anywhere else.
Whistle Pig Plantation Rum.
Yeah, and over 150 of the best scotches on earth.
And a ton of bitters, mixers, and more.
You know what we are? High class.
Definitely high class, yeah.
Make way for the natty.
Okay, maybe medium class.
Central City Liquor is home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the Wooden Nickel program.
Hey everybody, this is Mason Miller, sales manager out here at Willis Infinity. A couple of great things going on this month. We got tons of inventory, and on top of that, right now, we have 1.99 out to 60 months on the new QX60 and up to $2,500 in cash on here. Also this month, we are still doing the 2.9% up to 60 on new QX80s, the 3000 in Conquest. For more information, visit your favorite Infinity sales consultant on our showroom or online at willisinfinity.com.
Do you have a pest problem? With over 20 years of experience, Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions is Central Iowa's local expert in fast, effective, eco-friendly pest solutions at a fair price for your home or business. Call us today at 515-218-3400.
There's a new spin on casual dining near Drake University. Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers. Craveable faves, flatbreads, delicious burgers, frozen cocktails, and a crazy cool vibe. Get to Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers today.
You got me falling hard, sweet baby, got me falling hard for you. And still, I felt this way before, you know it's true. And still, you got me more and more. Oh, you got me falling hard.
The best bread is made from scratch, freshly baked with locally sourced ingredients and love. At Big Sky Bakery, we take great pride in our delicious products. We know you'll enjoy them almost as much as we enjoy baking them. Find us at the downtown Des Moines Farmers Market every Saturday.
Back like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Welcome to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. If you're listening on the audio stream at therushradio.com or on the Android app, thank you so much. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, leave yourself a comment. And, of course, you can follow us on the social media channels of X, Facebook, and Instagram. I made you laugh.
Back like a rash you thought was gone. It's Travis and Ross.
But we're not contagious.
That's good. I like that one.
We're cheesy. We
That's
have a right to be cheesy, right?
Yeah.
Just thought we'd mess around, experiment a little. We can just come up with new ones and just send them off to them and say, hey, cut this.
Sure.
Yeah. So if you missed any part of the show, don't worry. You can go find it at therushradio.com or go back on YouTube and rewatch the show, which I think a lot of people do. I think a lot of people go back and rewatch this thing.
You think? You got the numbers. What do you mean you think?
Yeah. So I am kind of out of it today, and it's funny because now my phone's been blowing up, and so now I'm getting distracted because, and if you didn't hear,
dude, totally understand, and I think that you should probably reset some of that because folks that didn't hear it in the first hour are gonna,
So if you, and we're not going to spend as much time as we did in hour number one, but my mom passed away yesterday. And a buddy just texted me, how are you doing the show? He goes, I could never do that. I go, because it's therapy. I need my buddy Ross with me. I need Charlie. I need Tyler. I need Ray. I need all these guys who are commenting. I need my people. I need my people. That's why.
Yeah.
He goes, oh, I get it. Put it on autopilot. I said, I wouldn't call it autopilot. It's just,
No, we had a fun first hour there too. I mean, outside of the crying and whatnot.
Yeah, if this would have been like a 10 o'clock in the morning show, probably wouldn't be here. But 6 o'clock in the morning, the funeral home doesn't open till 9. So
good way to look at it.
What am I going to do? The funeral home doesn't open till 9. But I get to go to Manning, Iowa today.
Can
you ever been to Manning?
Boy, maybe on a tractor ride through Manning. I wouldn't say I've been to Manning.
I think they had the old German house barn up there. So, and then she's actually going to get buried in Templeton. So we're going to do the funeral in Templeton and then the burial in Templeton. So maybe I'll just bring over a bottle and just.
Wouldn't be the first.
I wouldn't be the first, would I? Wouldn't be the first at all.
Travis, did you tell me it was called Lewy Body? Is that the
Lewy?
Lewy body dementia was what she had?
Yeah. Well, here's the problem. It's kind of like CTE. You can't diagnose it until you've passed away.
Oh, no way.
But when she went to the doctors were like, hey, we can't officially do this.
Oh.
But we know enough about it now.
Okay.
You have like every one of the symptoms that went with Lewy body. So she couldn't have an official diagnosis because that's kind of what happened with Robin Williams. They thought he had Parkinson's and all this stuff, but after a further examination.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and she's had it a lot longer than what she was, she was told by the doctors, I think, about 6-7 months ago. But we go back to when the symptoms first started. We're talking 5 years ago. And the average lifespan of somebody with that is like 5 to 6 years. So that would kind of fall right into where everything was.
Yeah.
We wasn't prepared for it. Never an easy phone call to get, but now the stressful, I think, hard stuff starts. The realization, but then you got to take care of everything, right?
Yeah, the house, it's a lot of responsibility. And you mentioned this in the first hour, but because you have a brother in Portugal, it's going to be a couple weeks before you guys are able to have the funeral, which, listen, could be a blessing that you got a little bit more time to get everything squared away. But
yeah, very much so. And the good thing, he calls me, goes, "Hey, can I live in?" He goes, "I'm going to come back for 2 months." So I go,
"Oh, nice."
Yeah, he goes,
okay.
"Can I live in the house?" I'm like, "Yeah, you can live in the house.
Clean it up."
Yeah, yeah. That's kind of what I'm going to say. Is hey, since you're going to be living here, you got to go through all this crap.
I rented a dumpster.
Yes, just start throwing everything away. Now, and that's going to be the interesting part, because I'm going to be one of you guys. Bring the grandkids, bring the kids, whatever y'all want, take.
Yep.
And then after that, we'll just give to Goodwill and throw
Good
it.
idea.
That simple.
Well, I know that a lot of people will be thinking about you and your family, buddy, and your kids, because that's everybody knows what it's like to lose a grandparent. And a lot of us unfortunately know what it's like to lose a parent. So
The realization was, and I wasn't. I've told this story. I wasn't close with my dad at all. So, but now both parents are gone. So that's kind of a weird feeling, is that you don't have. There's always kind of. Oh, mom's always there.
I've
right?
had people tell me that, dude. I've had people tell me losing the second parent hits a little different.
Yeah, and I was closer with my mom than I was my dad, so that's what's going to make it different. But yeah, so we'll got stuff to take care of today, and we'll get it taken care of. And
I love that the show is such a priority to you, and it does make you. I know that being here means as much to you as it does to us. But know that any day you need to take off. Seems like Justin. I screwed up though. I got Justin a job.
You did?
Yeah.
What'd you go do that for? We needed him unemployed forever.
I know.
We needed him on the state of Iowa.
I needed him dependent on me.
He mowing greens
I shouldn't say I got him a job. I shouldn't say that. He got a job. One of our buddies, John Walling, over at Grandview, helped him land. And John would probably say he didn't give him the job either. Justin got a job at Grandview.
He earned the job.
Yeah. He told him, he showed him he could drive a mower.
Drive a mower and probably gets free golf afterwards. Like, can I play golf afterwards?
I don't think he gets free golf.
Really? He should. That should be one of the perks. Hey, when you're done mowing, if there's nobody out there, you just go ahead and go play 18.
I'll find out today.
Do you get to play free golf? Because maybe I want a part-time job.
I was just going to...
Maybe I want a part-time job.
Is anybody mowing at 9? Could I come out and drive a mower at 9?
515-517-2303. Let's go to the phones. That's where Kevin is. Kevin, welcome to the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive. What's going on?
Hey, good morning, guys. Great show. First time I've had a chance to call in.
Kevin, what's up, man?
I wanted to send my sympathies. Hey, what's going on?
How are you, buddy?
Hello.
Yo, we got you.
We got you. Uh-oh.
Hey, first time I've had a chance to call in to the new show.
Well, thank you.
And I just lost my mom 2 weeks ago, Travis. She was 103.
103. That's a good life. That's a good life, Kevin. That's a really good life.
Yeah, she lived at home up till the last month. And, just the whole eye-opening experience. I got to spend a lot of time with her in her last month. And I just want to tell everybody that's listening, no matter what happens in your life, spend time with your parents.
Huh. Yeah.
Kevin, thanks for the phone call, man. That means a lot. I appreciate it.
Sorry for your loss, Kevin.
You bet.
Thanks, buddy.
Talk to you soon, brother.
Man, 103, that's a great life.
Oh, that's a great life.
And the fact that she got to live at home up until the last
That's
month.
amazing.
That's amazing.
Dude, think about 103. Born in 1921. That you were old enough to know the Depression, not live through it, not like, oh, I was born. No, you'd have been like in school.
Yes.
You might remember the Roaring 20s.
You're going to remember World War II.
Oh, yeah. You had friends in World. She had, hell, his grandpa might have been a World War II veteran. She might have lost a brother or probably lost a brother. Certainly lost a classmate or something like that.
Or friend.
Wow. Think about that life, dude. And then to die in 2025, where she got to see us land on the moon. She got to see the invention of the internet. Her life looks like a time machine. Her life looks like it went from the Stone Ages to the Jetsons.
So I'm going to get to this phone call at 515-517-2303. Ross, welcome to the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
Hey, Travis, sorry about your mom. Just wanted to say thanks for doing the show. You got me through some tough times last year. I lost my brother and my dad last year, so
I remember
cool
that.
you're doing this. So, and I get it. So, we're all thinking about you. The show's like a family, whether I know any of them or not. But appreciate you guys.
We know. Everybody knows everybody. All you have to do is go. Do you listen to the Rush? Yeah, we're family members. We're brothers. We're sisters. Thanks,
and some
Ross.
of us hate each other, but we all love each other.
Exactly.
That's a good way to put it, Ross.
Thanks, Ross. Appreciate it.
Here's what I learned, and I've said this. This is something that I learned on my Camino trek, meeting people from all over the world. Man, we're all going through the same thing. We're all going through the same thing. It has different words, and it's got different feelings, and it's got different temperatures. But we're all going through this life thing, man. This crazy blanking life.
So,
and
Ross,
it just helps to have people go, oh, man, I've been through that.
I want to know what you would do here.
Okay.
My mom left me explicit instructions, and if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see it. She left her obituary, right? Handwritten. So she left me she goes, this is my obituary. This is what I want. I didn't like it.
Okay.
I didn't like it. Now,
all right.
It was fine, but it was basic, right? It didn't really tell anything about her life. And so I took the liberty last night to take hers and add more to it.
Okay.
Do you think she'll be mad at me? And here's what I did. I mean, it wasn't a glamorous job, but for 30 years, my mom was the head cook at Tri-Center High School. So she served thousands and thousands of kids. Now, Tri-Center is not a big school, but when you add up over that time,
30 years.
It's thousands of kids. And that was at a time when you were still baking things from scratch. And I just called several people last night. What do you remember about mom's lunches? And they're like, oh my God, the surprise bars. I want the recipe. And then they talked about, she'd get up and they'd make homemade hot dog buns and hamburger buns. And I added that part of just how you make an impression on somebody's life. If you can go back and go, oh, I remember that school lunch. And the fact that you were there every day and they served you from basically kindergarten through senior year, I go, people knew who you were. So I added that part. And she was a huge Elvis fan. I know you're not an Elvis fan, but she was a huge Elvis fan. Got to see Elvis twice in concert. Visited
wow,
Graceland.
That's really cool.
Has, like a mini shrine. You walk in the house yesterday and there's a shrine to Elvis, right? And so I just thought it was important to add that to give a little humanity.
Yeah.
She was just more than Joan Martha Heidoff, who was born in 1943 and died on April 14th. So I just said, I sat down at the computer last night and I'm like, Mom, don't be mad at me, but I'm going to add to your obituary.
No, Trav, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. that's cool that she wanted to keep it simple.
Yes.
Right. I'm sure if my mom could have written her obituary, I'm sure she'd have done the same thing. She'd have just wanted it to be, what you just showed us.
Three
quarters of a page of handwritten notes.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
but
here's
we
what
can
I
add
did.
a little bit more to this.
I would imagine in hers, she said something about her faith.
No, I added that too.
Okay. I'm glad you did.
Yeah. I put she's a lifelong member of, or I guess not lifelong because she moved to Minden in 1963, I believe it was. So
boy,
St.
that's a
Patrick's
lifetime,
Church,
dude. That's a lifetime.
This was her 60th year. She was hoping to get to year 60 because after the tornado hit Minden last year. So many people in Iowa will remember that a tornado devastated Minden, Iowa. It's a small town. But I'm like, Mom, sell the house, get out of town. I go, never a better time. Me, I'm an opportunist. I'm like, people are looking for homes in Minden, Mom. It's time to sell. It's time to sell. She didn't listen to me because she's like, nope, I want to make it to year 60 in the house. This would have been year 60. I think she fell. I go, Mom, just do the subtraction. I think you made it. We're good. We're good. You made year 60. But so I added a little bit about the St. Patrick's Church, just to add some content and some context to her life. I didn't want it to be a yellow piece of writing paper. So
I don't think she'd be mad at you, Travis.
Okay.
I don't think she would. I think that she would. That this is what human beings should do. This is what humble human beings should do. This is what I left, and then somebody else steps in and goes, "No, you were way more than that."
Yeah, because she didn't say what she left.
Yeah.
So it was like, I'm going to take a half a page obituary and make it a full page. We can get a full page out of you.
we can stretch this a little bit.
We can stretch this.
Vamp.
Yeah. I'll get creative with the adjectives and the descriptions. Said you love to travel, which she did. That what was cool about my mom is that she, a lot of people don't like to travel. I think she inspired me to try. I travel quite a bit. So it's one of those things. I remember going to Yellowstone with her for the first time.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's
Yellowstone
a cool trip.
That was 1977. And I remember there was like 8 of us in a Pontiac Bonneville. And there's no room for me, but I'm the smallest one. So back when you couldn't do this today. I rode to Yellowstone in the back window. I mean, I laid in the back window of the Bonneville. You can't do that today at all.
What a view of the western part of America out of the back window of a Bonneville.
Yeah. At the time, you're like, this sucks. This absolutely sucks. Then you look back and go, oh, hey, you can't do that today. So you feel like you got away with something. John asked, what did your mom do during the tornado? It was close to the house. It was close to the house, but we got lucky. Well, she got lucky because it went to downtown, which it absolutely destroyed. Her house didn't get any damage. One of the few in town, that whole neighborhood didn't get any damage, which was fortunate for her because she didn't have to do much damage or much repair on the house. But yeah, so took liberties with the obituary. Did you write your mom's obituary? Because your speech at your mom's funeral was tremendous, absolutely tremendous. And
yeah.
I didn't know if you wrote the obituary for your mom.
Yep, I did. Kept it short and sweet like my mom, just like she would have wanted.
So, yeah. You've tried to turn me on to the World Baseball Classic. I've never been a World Baseball Classic guy. And I don't know why, but I haven't been. Aaron Judge announced yesterday he's going to participate in the 2026 World Baseball Classic. He'll be 33, I think, next month. He's never played in the World Baseball Classic. He's going to play for Team USA in 2026, Ross. He's going to be the team captain. This is good for it's good for the World Baseball Classic, right? You need the big names in the World Baseball Classic. And Aaron Judge, be an older Aaron Judge, be 34 right around the time. But this is good for the WBC, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. This is what the World Baseball Classic needs, dude. You got to have the stars of MLB going to represent their home countries. That's what they intended this to be, a way to grow the game internationally. And you can't do that if you don't have the superstars playing in these games. Mike Trout was the captain last time. So, I mean, they've been able to get some of the stars before, but this is the first time that I thought Aaron Judge had played on the American team before.
So did I. I was kind of shocked when I was going through that. I'm like, Aaron Judge hadn't played before? He hasn't.
Yeah. So is what it is. But if you can get these guys, that's absolutely what this thing needs, dude.
We've had this conversation before, but sell me on the World Baseball Classic. Why hasn't it gone to me going, this is something I need to watch? Is it timing? Is it
Travis, what a great question, man. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Is it because America doesn't dominate the thing?
Maybe.
Is it because I don't know, man. Baseball's such a different sport when it comes to all this stuff. Like, it's hard for let me back up. In basketball, it's easy for Michael Jordan to go out there and dominate the game. It's easy to watch the Dream Team and go, wow, look at the behind the back passes. Look at the alley-oops off the backboard. Baseball doesn't really have that. Baseball exposes its greatness in long exposure. You get every now and again you get these snapshots of it, but the snapshots of greatness in baseball can happen with anybody. A guy can come out of the blue and throw a no-hitter. A guy can come out of the blue and have a couple of great games and hit a 450-foot home run. But that wow factor usually happens with a superstar, happens over a long time.
144 games.
Yeah,
I mean,
162 games. Yeah, right. You got to get a lot of games in, and then decades of it. Why hasn't the World Baseball Classic taken off?
Maybe because it doesn't happen every year?
That could be. It's not a routine thing.
It's kind of like the World Cup. I know this is going to make a lot of soccer fans mad, but when Team USA doesn't even qualify,
it changes our interest.
Yes, and then it's like, and I know the World Cup's coming here next year, but you're like, okay, people will be all they'll go get their scarves, they'll be all jacked up, and then they'll wait another 4 years to do the same thing.
When you brought up the World Baseball Classic, Trav, part of me thinks about the Olympics and how our interest in the Olympics has just waned. It used to be such a big deal.
Yeah, I think the last time I really cared about the Olympics was 1984.
Yeah, right.
It was in LA.
You got to go back a long time. Yeah. I mean, Sean Johnson made us watch. Lolo Jones made us watch. There's things that make us watch. I mean, the event, the Olympics, used to be a big deal. It's not anymore.
I mean, if you go to Anjanette's house, her parents still have like the opening ceremonies on VHS cassette. Like they would tape the opening and closing ceremonies.
It used to be on my bucket list. My sports bucket list used to be Olympic Games opening ceremonies. Oh, the pageantry and the emotion and all of that stuff. And now I don't even watch it. Now it's all the things I make fun of. All the pandering and I don't know. It's such a good question, Travis. Did they just miss the mark? They obviously missed the mark a little bit with the World Baseball Classic. This thing's been going on for a while now, and it still doesn't have that grab. Is Aaron Judge being because Aaron Judge is one of the most magnetic superstars in baseball, meaning he draws a lot of people, and a lot of people really like him. Is this going to be enough to get some people to watch? I don't know. I don't think so.
You know, Casey and I think Rock brings it up on the chat, and that is the World Baseball Classic usually coincides with March Madness. Well, if you throw in the NCAA basketball tournament versus the World Baseball Classic, you've eliminated a good portion of your audience because casual fans are going to be like, I get March Madness. I understand March Madness.
Yeah, you're going to lose that one big time.
Yes. That's a losing battle.
So, don't know what to add to that. You're going to lose there. So maybe move the timing of it.
Yeah, but then you're dealing with contracts. You're dealing with regular season.
Spring training is in the way. Do you do like hockey has done? Do you allow some sort of carve out every couple years in the season and tell the World Baseball Classic, listen, you guys can play this thing in June, but it can only last 2 weeks. I don't know. But then even with that, now you're stretching this. Okay, now we're going to start the baseball season. We had our first we had our first baseball game of the season this year was in Japan. It happened in February?
Yeah. And we made fun of it, right? We were like,
so now you're going to start a week earlier and then go a week later. So now the World Series is nipping on December. Mike says it's a bigger deal in other countries, just not here. That I would believe. And maybe that's what that is what the point of the World Baseball Classic was to grow the global reach of the game. So if it's done that, then it's done its job. It wasn't for us. It's kind of like the uniform thing, Travis. What do you think of Oregon's neon green uniforms? I'm a 46-year-old white dude in Iowa. It ain't for me. The World Baseball Classic was never meant for us. They already had me. They didn't need to sell the game to me or you or anybody that's listening to this show, so they didn't. So yeah, good point, Mike. I'm glad you brought that up. If it worked in other countries, then that's what the point of it was.
And much like the NBA, the NFL, the point, like, we've got the Americans. We don't have to worry about growing a sport here. We want to grow global.
And there's just so much more money. I mean, we are the world's biggest economy. We are the consumer economy that stirs this entire drink. But man, there's a lot of money out there. The NBA's shown that.
Yeah, because they look at F1, they look at soccer, and they go, "Oh, we want a piece of that pie,
that big global pie."
Big, yeah. And if we can expand globally, we'll get more. And
what can I ask you a question, Trav?
Yeah.
Did you look into this? What does Aaron Judge get to do by being named the captain? Does he get to name part of the? Does he get to?
I didn't look into that. I think it's just you're the captain. And maybe inspire others who might be on the fence to go, oh, maybe we'll go play.
I tried to look into it. I'll be honest. I couldn't get past some of the pandering. I couldn't get past because the article is filled with getting the chance to represent this country, what this country means to me. Honestly, every game during the national anthem, God Bless America, getting a chance to sit out there, for me, it's a time to reflect about how the brave men and women that have fought for this country and given the opportunity to step on a baseball field and play the game that I love. This is his first time playing. He's 33. Let's slow down with how the patriotic.
Yeah, because you couldn't say.
You
could have played 4 years ago.
Red, yeah, right. But this is what everybody does. Everybody does this. The chance to do it. It's just such a wonderful opportunity. Represent
the agent in the World Baseball Classic said, "Here are your talking points."
Exactly. His agent or some PR team said, "All right, Aaron, here's what you're going to release to ESPN. Getting the chance to have USA across my chest and represent all the great people in our country and represent what this country means. It's a great opportunity." How many times did he say opportunity? I never had this opportunity before, even growing up as a kid. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. He's never had this opportunity before.
Could have played 4 years ago.
I don't know. Maybe not.
515-517-2303. That's the number to call. We'll take a break, continue the conversation. We want to talk scheduling in sports because we were just talking about the World Baseball Classic. Going to throw one out for Ross on a niche sport.
Okay.
If it helps grow the game or not. It is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
Hi, I'm John Linares, sales manager here at Willis Lexus, and this month, with spring here, it has also brought some great deals. We have $1,500 of lease cash on RX, $2,750 on NX, and $3,000 on ES. And if you're not looking to lease this time around, we have low APRs available like 3.99 for 48 months and 4.49 for up to 60 months on select models. I invite you to stop in and visit with your favorite sales consultant or visit us online at willislexus.com.
I'm loving these wooden nickels, Brian.
Yeah, I suppose everyone is catching on.
Just spend $20 to get a wooden nickel.
It's 25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings on your next purchase.
Some of these are worth $5. That could be huge.
I know, right? That's why you have to spend $20.
It's 25.
Collect 10. It's like money back to you.
Spend 20, you get another wooden nickel.
It's 25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings. It's huge.
Central City Liquor is home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the wooden nickel program.
It's huge.
If you have a pest problem with over 20 years of experience, Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions is Central Iowa's local expert in fast, effective, eco-friendly pest solutions at a fair price for your home or business. Call us today at 515-218-3400.
Believe it or not, spring is coming. When it does, be absolutely organized with custom garage or closet systems from Absolute Garage and Closets. Turn a winter mess into a spring success at our showroom in Urbandale or visit absolutegarage.net.
With over 260 beers on tap, El Bait Shop isn't just another craft beer bar. It's the best. Beer lovers know El Bait Shop, 200 Southwest 2nd, Des Moines.
There's a new spin on casual dining near Drake University. Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers. Craveable faves, flatbreads, delicious burgers, frozen cocktails, and a crazy cool vibe. Get to Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers today.
Are you thinking about buying a home this year? Start by getting pre-approved with Gary Presnall at Northwest Bank in Des Moines to see how much you can qualify for and what loan programs meet your needs. Gary can get you pre-approved in 30 minutes or less with a pre-approval letter to you. Gary offers first-time homebuyers programs, VA loans along with FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Spring cleaning continues. Come down to Land Rover Des Moines to get your front and rear differential fluid services done for $199.95 each. Preventative maintenance is important to ensure your vehicle runs smoothly down the road. To schedule, give us a call or head online at LandRoverDesMoines.com.
The best bread is made from scratch, freshly baked with locally sourced ingredients and love. At Big Sky Bakery, we take great pride in our delicious products. We know you'll enjoy them almost as much as we enjoy baking them. Find us at the downtown Des Moines Farmers Market every Saturday.
Back like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Welcome back to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. I'm Travis Justice. He's Ross Peterson. We're here till 8 o'clock today. Getting through the day. Ross got me moving. Now you're swaying. Now I find myself swaying. I'm mimicking you.
That's a CIA tactic. You're just trying to convince me to do something. I know what you're up to.
Think so?
I'm
Just
on to
trying
you.
Convince you? Just you're onto my tactics.
See through it.
We were talking about the scheduling of the World Baseball Classic and, the conflicts with that, maybe why it affects people watching it and doesn't. But this came out yesterday, and we don't talk about soccer very much on this show at all. Very, very little. If I had to rank the sports we talk least about, it's soccer. Of course, we've been told since the beginning of time that soccer is much like the metric system. It's going to, take over the world.
Yeah.
And for some reason in the United States, it's grown faster than the metric system. But am I wrong?
No, you're right.
I'm right. But the MLS is looking at their model going, how do you grow the sport? How do you get more eyeballs on it? And right now they run a spring to fall schedule. So they play the majority of their games, regular season games, are in the summer, right? They are considering, Ross, in 2027 of switching the MLS, nothing official yet, but considering it, of moving it to a fall to spring schedule. So you would play the bulk of your games during the National Football League and college basketball in the NBA. However, the championship in the playoffs would be at a lesser time. It would come after March Madness, and you would really only have to compete with the NHL and the NBA. There are advantages and disadvantages to both. What do you think is a better schedule for soccer? Spring to fall or fall to spring?
Well, Travis, that it's an interesting question, and I can see why they're having this debate, because this will depend on your perspective. As an American sports fan, it's super easy with the way that you just laid it out to go, you guys have to stay spring to fall. You can't compete with football and basketball. And by the way, weather sucks.
Yeah.
You guys are going to play in the middle of winter. We all remember that nightmare international match that happened in Colorado a couple years ago. You guys are going to do this in the winter? It is played fall to spring everywhere else in the world. I don't want to say everywhere else, but every major soccer league outside of the MLS competes in that fall to spring league. So there could be advantages and disadvantages to swapping, because the MLS being in that off season allows for them to have guys like Messi. Now Messi's probably a bad example because they actually paid for him, but the MLS is able sometimes to borrow players from the EPL. That happens within the season as well. So like a guy that is signed by Liverpool, but he's 19 years old. He's not going to make the main club. He's never going to be in that starting 11. Liverpool will rent that player. They'll pay his salary.
Like loan, right?
Loan him to another team.
I think I learned this during Ted Lasso.
Yeah, right.
Jamie was he was on loan because he wasn't making it. So they loaned him to that team.
Exactly right. And so maybe, and that happens within season. Maybe it's possible you'd get some more of that. I don't think it would stop it. I don't know, Trav. This is a good question, because my instant reaction is absolutely not. You don't want to compete with football and basketball. The weather's going to be a nightmare. Why would you even consider this? Well, the rest of the world does it. And maybe there is something to it.
But the rest of the world isn't competing with snow. I think it was at 6 or 7 teams.
The rest of the world isn't competing with NFL and college football, which dominate your market. No other country says that.
Yeah, because what dominates in your country is soccer.
Right. So I don't know, man. It'd be interesting. The truth of the matter is, it's not going to affect my interest in the MLS.
Which is how much?
Zero. Which is zero.
Is it because it's not the best of the best? I mean, if all of a sudden you had Liverpool and Manchester playing like regular season games over here, would that interest your?
No. Listen, I like soccer. I'm not soccer averse. I like it. I know you are, and a lot of people are, and that's another big hurdle that soccer. That's why soccer is the metric system here, because you got a lot of people that are just soccer averse. We had somebody that sent that. There's this Hank Hill quote from King of the Hill. Soccer was invented by European ladies to keep them busy while their husbands did the cooking. That's the type of attitude a lot of Americans have towards soccer. All right. So you're going up against that, first of all. So again, I'm not. It's not that I'm soccer. It's not that I don't like soccer. I don't know what it is about the MLS, Travis. It doesn't grab a hold of me. Maybe it's because I don't know the players. It's not the best in the world. It could be.
And do you think Messi has had the effect that they thought he would on the MLS?
Yeah, I do. I think that he drew a lot of eyeballs. I mean, it was the lead story on SportsCenter a lot when Messi was having good games or would have multiple goals. So I think it drew eyeballs to the MLS. That's what the intent of that was. I think that Miami made a lot of money doing that. Travis, I will tell you this because Tyler's writing this in, and I would encourage everybody to do this. Bruno and I, a couple of times a year, will go down to a Menace game. They're fun. It is a blast to go. You don't even have to go sit with the Red Army guys. You can just sit there and watch them. And I mean the Red Army guys and have fun. Go, man, these dudes are having a great time at this game. It is going to a Menace game is something I'd encourage people to do because it's a Des Moines thing. It's like going to a Bucks game. You're going to have a good time there.
It's an experience.
It is. Yep.
Yeah, I look at the model, and you're right. Everybody else in the world does it. But it's almost like saying, okay, we value the postseason more than the regular season. And if you don't have to compete with the Super Bowl, the national championship, and March Madness, you'll get more eyeballs as opposed to, oh, we're going up against a regular season National Football League. I mean, so I'm sure there's a little bit of a timing thing here, too. They're not going to jump into this. They were thinking about doing it in 2026. They said, hey, let's wait till the World Cup's over.
I think that's smart. But it's not a bad idea to float this balloon and just kind of get everybody's idea on it. Watch the weather for a couple of years and just kind of play it out over the winter and go, what would it be like if we were playing outside today?
Mike brings up a good point. He goes, soccer in person, totally different experience than watching on TV. I would say that for hockey as well.
Yes. Yes.
Great
analogy.
Yeah. Hell, auto racing. You go to Iowa Speedway and you're like, how do they, this is, yeah. I mean, you feel the fun, the engines on the track and you're like, oh man, this is addicting.
I had never thought of the connection of NASCAR to soccer like that. Because I'd never thought of soccer in that way, that it is a lot more fun in person. Hockey's a lot more fun in person.
One thing you can't see when you watch hockey on TV is the skill and the speed of the skaters.
Dude.
And when you go to a Bucks game and go to a Wild game, you go, oh.
Oh, and then you sit down along the glass. If you can, get close to the glass and watch those dudes skate by you at 30 miles an hour. That was a 260-pound man.
And with a puck and like doing
and
magical things with a stick and a puck. You're like,
exactly.
How do you do that?
But that's the NASCAR thing. You just kind of froze my brain there for a second because I think of all the times I go over to my dad's house. And I like racing. I'm kind of like soccer, a lot like soccer. I know the players. I know the moves. I know the terminology. If it's on TV, I go, hey, there's NASCAR.
Who's winning?
Right?
Who's turning left?
Right. Okay, how much time's left? How many laps are left? 34 laps are left? All right, I'll be back in an hour. And that's how I feel about if soccer's on, it's on TV, and you go, hey, there's soccer. Oh, cool. Hey, there's Audrey.
Oh, what's up? Yeah, I don't even take the time to watch soccer. I walk by it, I kind of run.
I run by.
Is there another establishment here that doesn't play soccer?
Yeah, I was wondering if you guys have any TVs that aren't showing soccer, or do I need to find a different restaurant?
Yeah. Do you just want me to leave now? But your sign outside says inclusive environment for everybody.
Hey, Trav, now listen, there is a bar opening in Des Moines that is going to focus on women's sports only.
You remember I just told you this?
Yeah.
We just opened one here.
That one in Omaha. They're opening that in Des Moines. I forgot that we had talked about that. That's right.
We'll see.
We'll see
over time. It's always never judge a book by its cover, meaning you can't go the first week and go, wow, this place is a success. Ask any bar or restaurant owner. It's the long play.
Yeah.
It's the long play. And
I've been wrong. I've thought things were going to be huge successes and they turned out to be failures. I've thought things were going to be failures. They turned out to be huge successes.
Yeah, I'm not going to pass judgment yet.
Ross says the most unbelievable part of your story would be you running to another bar.
That's true. That's true. It was funny. Before I got the news, my mom passed away yesterday. I was going up the stairs at work, and I was kind of running. And my boss goes, "Look at you, lose 75 pounds, and you think you can run up the stairs?" Yeah, and I got up the stairs without being winded. It was a beautiful thing. I was like, yeah, well, pop in my step. Colorado is making Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders' numbers retired. They played 2 years. Travis Hunter, of course, won the Heisman Trophy. Shedeur Sanders set all sorts of new records, but they're going to retire their numbers. I'm okay with that.
I have no problem with it. I mean, especially Travis Hunter, because the guy won the Heisman Trophy for you.
Yeah, if you win a Heisman Trophy at any institution, your numbers should be retired.
Yeah, unless the institution has some policy against retiring numbers, which I would also be okay with colleges saying that. I'd be totally okay if a college said, we don't retire numbers. We put your name up there. You know what I mean? We'll do some sort of ring of honor or something like that. But I don't have any issue with this. You know, the Shedeur Sanders, I think, is the one that people will raise their eyebrows out a little bit. But
and I know you're doing them at the same time. But I mean, truth is, Travis Hunter won the Heisman Trophy. There was little doubt that he was the best overall college football player in the country last year, maybe the last 2 years, right? But it's almost like, well, we're going to throw Shedeur in there as well because, well, Deion's the coach, and he thought Shedeur. If you ask Deion, he'd probably tell you that they should have shared the Heisman Trophy.
Yeah, he would have. I think he probably went on record saying that.
Just give them both the trophy.
They should have finished first and second. How'd the team do?
They finished 9-3. So Deion's locked up for a long time. I got the $53 million deal. So he's like,
did you think he was going to bounce?
No,
I was afraid he was going to bounce. Because I was a big fan of his. I was a big proponent of Deion getting this opportunity and making the most of it. And I'm even though he's done a lot of things that I think were missteps, and he's said a lot of really, I don't even know what the right word is for it, abrasive things.
I guess it would have made sense to bounce for a number of reasons. One being you lose the Heisman Trophy winner and a pretty darn good quarterback in your son, because you could have gone and put yourself maybe at a bigger institution, the National Football League, set yourself up for always staying ahead of reality catching up.
Yeah.
Here, people are going to say, now we're going to see what kind of coach, recruiter, everything that Deion Sanders is when you don't have Shedeur, when you don't have a Travis Hunter. I mean, you built a team, did pretty good with those guys, but when you don't have them, how good are you?
Now is when the rubber hits the road. I'm with you on that. And in Deion's, again, I always find myself in Deion's defense. He did convince the greatest player in college football to go to Jackson State and then follow him to Colorado and then play, 97% of the snaps his senior year, or whatever the ridiculous number was.
Yeah, let's say Travis Hunter stayed at Jackson State. He wasn't going to win the Heisman Trophy.
Not even close. In fact, without Deion there, we wouldn't have known. Without Deion Sanders, I hate to even say this because Travis Hunter is such a special athlete, and I don't want to take away from him, but the truth is the truth. If he would have just gone to Jackson State from Alabama, it would have been a side note. It would have been like, oh, yeah, by the way, Alabama lost a top recruit to Jackson State. Probably academic reasons. We all would have blamed the kid for a million things. But because Deion was there, we all went, oh, he's going to play for Deion. He flies with Deion to Colorado, changes things there. I'm with you. I think the easy thing for Deion would have been to bounce. And that's why I was afraid that he was going to do that, because I'd kind of been rooting for the guy, and I was kind of telling other people, hey, I think that this would be a neat thing. This is a guy that wants to thumb his nose at the system, and I'm a fan of that. Now, that comes with some big, big expenses. Okay? Ross on Twitter or on YouTube is saying Deion is the Trump of coaching. There's a lot of similarities there. Disruptor. Doesn't care what you think about what he says. Isn't here to make friends. It is just kind of doing his own thing and has his own idea of the way things are supposed to be, and it's not the traditional way. There's some real similarities there between Deion and Trump. say a lot of I used that word earlier. Say a lot of abrasive things that make people, even people that are fans of yours, go, oh, crap. I wish you wouldn't say that. I wish you wouldn't go after my buddy Sean Keeler.
Yeah, why are you doing that?
Why are you doing that? You're not helping your cause by doing this, Dion Trump. You're losing your message because of your delivery. But that's why I'm glad Dion stuck it out, because I did think that there was some writing on the wall there that he was going to bounce with these guys and kind of leave Colorado out in the lurch, because they sold the hope of Deion Sanders being that coach.
Because if he bolted Colorado, they would have to start all over again.
It would have blown it all up, and it would have been really bad. And so I'm glad he didn't do that, because we've seen a few institutions that do that, put their belief in a guy. This is going to be the dude. And then within a few years or a year, the guy bounces, and that causes a lot of disruption.
We had almost a near disaster on Capitol Hill yesterday. It was National Championship Day. They brought in Ohio State. They brought in North Dakota State. Of course, J.D. Vance, the Vice President of the United States, all excited because the Ohio State Buckeyes are there. The Ohio State Buckeyes. He's from Ohio. He was a senator from Ohio. He's now the vice president from Ohio. They give him the trophy, forgetting that it was attached in two parts. It was not a single-bodied trophy. He fumbled the trophy.
I saw this.
Fumbled the trophy.
Dude, he didn't fumble the trophy. He broke the trophy.
You could hear the...
I love this. He fumbled the trophy. No, he broke it. He picked it up. He broke it. He was all excited. He's like, it was like, yeah, it has that like nerdy kid vibe to it. You know what I mean? He's all excited to get his hands on the trophy, and he like can't pick it up at first. So he kind of struggles with it. And then when he finally gets it off the table, it breaks. It crashes to the ground. Now, the top of it does not fall and like shatter like we've seen with some trophies happen.
If it was the old crystal ball that remember the old Sears trophy that was like crystal, that thing would have gone into 1,000 pieces.
So it doesn't do that, but it's got some wear and tear on it.
Do you think he goes home and is just totally embarrassed?
Oh, dude. The moment the embarrassment sets in before that thing hits the ground. That's when time slows down. And you go, oh, no.
And and we've all been there where we've had something in our hands where there's no save here. There's just no save. You're going to try, but you're going to lose it. The only difference is most people don't see your screw-ups. Here, every cable TV network and waiting for something. Right? It's like, oh, look at this. We got the vice president fumbling the football.
Yeah, he breaks the trophy. He doesn't fumble it. He breaks the trophy. Just call it what it is.
They'll get a new one. They'll get it fixed.
Right, exactly. It's funny.
Did you watch the ladies from Blue Origin go up in space yesterday?
I've heard about this. Katy Perry went to space.
Gail King went to space.
Gail King. Who else was a part of that crew?
Sanchez.
I don't know who that is. Who's Rachel Sanchez?
Is it Rachel or it's Jeff Bezos' fiance?
Oh, Jeff. Oh, was he the one that put this thing on?
Yeah, this was.
I know nothing about it.
Basically, you have Blue Origin. You have Virgin Galactic. I don't even know if that's still around. That's Richard Branson, and then you have SpaceX. But this is the one that William Shatner went in about a year ago. Remember that when William Shatner went up? They went up for 11 minutes and then came back down.
All right, here's who was on the crew. Lauren Sanchez.
Lauren Sanchez, sorry.
She's also a helicopter pilot. Journalist Gail King. NASA rocket scientist Aisha Bowie. Filmmaker Kirianne Flynn. And Civil Ryan. I don't know most of those people. I know Katy Perry and Gayle King, unfortunately. I should probably know the really smart ladies. Those are the ones that...
Would you go to space if you're given the opportunity? I would.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
There were some other people like picking on, like you had some celebrities going, wow, this is just gluttony and, billions of dollars. Who cares?
Yeah, right. Yes, it is.
Who cares?
True. Yeah. You know what you are? Jealous. You know what that is? That's just jelly. You're mad because Jeff Bezos didn't call you. That's jealousy.
If I could go
Dude,
up, experience weightlessness.
The conspiracies around this thing are awesome, though. Because the conspiracy theories are like, no, they didn't.
Oh,
no, they didn't. Oh, I swear to God, Travis, it's amazing. And like in one of the videos, when the capsule lands, apparently they open the door before the crew gets up there to open it. Like it opens from the inside, and somebody's like, no, shut it. And they shut the door again. So people were like, oh, see, it was all fake.
You mean they randomly put a capsule out in the middle of the desert?
And filmed it falling from the sky with parachutes? Dude, I don't know how the conspiracy brain works some days. Some days I've got it.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
with this thing, I don't care enough to try to break it down. I don't care enough about Katy Perry going to space to look into it, I guess.
You can convince me we didn't land a man on the moon. You can convince me that. But you can't convince me these guys didn't go to the outer edges they didn't go fully into space. It was like right on the edge where you experienced weightlessness, because it was only an 11-minute flight. That's like that's like a tornado run, right? You got a tornado, you're like, yeah, we're going to be on the roller coaster.
It was 11 minutes?
11 minutes.
Like
But
from
they were
blast
No,
off
I think
to-
that was a little bit longer, but they were like 11 minutes and you come back down. Not very long.
Were you weightless in space? That's pretty cool.
Yes.
Whatever it was, it's really
you get
cool.
to see the globe like nobody's ever seen before. Yeah, that's pretty cool. All
Mike
right,
says people were mad because Katy Perry called herself an astronaut. He says that's like being a passenger on a plane and calling yourself a pilot.
No. I think once you go to space, you're an astronaut, right? Yeah, I thought once you went to space, you were an astronaut. All right, 515-517-2303. Write that number down because we use that number each and every day. I want to thank everybody for their comments today. This was a good therapy session for me. I needed it, and I got to hang out with Ross for 2 hours, which was even awesome.
We love you, buddy.
Thanks, buddy. We'll be back tomorrow, 6 a.m. It's the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
I'm loving these wooden nickels, Brian.
Yeah, I suppose everyone is catching on.
Just spend $20 to get a wooden nickel.
It's 25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings on your next purchase.
Some of these are worth $5. That could be huge.
I know, right? That's why you have to spend $20.
It's 25.
Collect 10. It's like money back to you.
Spend 20, you get another wooden nickel.
It's 25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings. It's huge.
Central City Liquor is home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the wooden nickel program.
It's huge.
Spring is here, and so are spring pests. Whether it's birds in your dryer vent, raccoons in your chimney, squirrels in your soffit, ants in your kitchen, or bats in your attic, with over 20 years of experience, Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions can help. Call us today at 515-218-3400 to schedule your inspection and see how Bats and Bugs can help prevent your home from becoming their home.
You've dreamed about an absolutely organized garage or closet? See it for yourself at Absolute Garage and Closet's beautiful showroom in Urbandale. See the latest in garage storage, custom closet systems, and epoxy flooring applications up close, and imagine how good it will feel to have your garage, closets, or other spaces absolutely organized. Free consultations, friendly service, and quick project turnarounds, Absolute Garage and Closets is ready to bring peace of mind into your home. Visit Absolute Garage and Closets at 3169 99th Street in Urbandale or at absolutegarage.net.
Brendan Santone here with Willis Cadillac. Well, we're already off to a jumping start. Have quite a few vehicles to select from. XT5, 4, and 6 are all still running special APR up to 84 months, along with rebates as well. Escalades, as you can see, we are getting a few here and there that are available. Stop out in person in Clive to visit us and see one of our 50 cars in stock, or at williscadillac.com.
Missing a quality, home-cooked meal? You know, the kind Mom used to make? Lucky for you, we found her recipe book. Welcome to the High Life. Welcome to the Champagne of Bars.
Looking for the perfect golf escape? Experience links-style golf right here in Ames at Coldwater Golf Links. With rolling fairways, large greens, and unique routing, it's golf the way it's meant to be played. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, you'll love our course's welcoming atmosphere and friendly staff. Grab your clubs, book a tee time, and make every round unforgettable. Coldwater Golf Links, where great golf leads to great memories. Visit coldwatergolf.com to book your round today.